Hello friends. In this video, we are going to learn Henry Fayol's Principles of Management. In our previous video, we studied 5 principles and in this video, we are going to learn next 5 principles of Henry Fayol. Principle number 6. Subordination of individual interest to the general interest. Here, individual interest is the personal interest, while general interest is the organizational interest. So, according to Henry Fayol, we have to make the difference between individual interest and general interest, where we have to give more importance to the general interest. So, in organization, our primary focus must be on organizational objectives and not on the individual objectives. This principle must be applicable to all the levels of organization. The interest of one employee should not be more important than the interest of the group. This principle says that organization must be always considered at primary and individuals or employees must be secondary. So according to this principle, the business, enterprise or organization must be superior and the individuals, employees and groups must be inferior. The group interest will be more important than the individual interest. The interest of one person should never take priority over the interest of the organization. Friends, in our society also we always see that doctors, nurses, policemen, army people, they always give more importance to the general interest and they keep their individual interest or personal interest aside. So same principle we have to follow in organization. The seventh principle is principle of remuneration. We know that there is employee and there is employer. Employee work for the employer and employer give salary to the employee. Okay, so employee, they offer the service in the form of work to the employer and in return employer give the benefit of salary to the employee. Remuneration is the price for the services. The organization must give the good remuneration to the good employees and remuneration policy must give satisfaction to employer as well as employee. Remuneration can include financial as well as non-financial incentives. Remuneration to be paid to the workers and it should be fair, reasonable, satisfactory and rewarding. And the both employer and employees must be satisfied with that remuneration. Remuneration may include wages and other incentives which are paid directly or indirectly in the form of cash or in the form of kind. So it may include overtime, bonus, allowances, grants, travel or vehicle expenses, business expenses, uniform, equipment, housing facility, medical, education facility, all will come under the remuneration along with the wages and salary. The next principle is principle of centralization. There is always question where there should be centralization or decentralization. First we'll see what is the centralization and decentralization. If you will observe this diagram, this talks about the centralization. Here the whole power is saturated in one hand, while here the power is divided into the different hands. So centralization refers to the authority in one hand at the top level and then there will be the subordination, while decentralization means there will be top level, then middle level and then there will be lower level or the employees. Okay, so according to Fayol, there must be the proper combination of centralization and decentralization. It is depend on nature and size of the organization. If there is the small business, then we can go for the centralization, but if the business is large, then decentralization is the best one. In short, centralization means decision making is concentrated in few hands, while decentralization means decision making is dispersed or divided among the others. Centralization means concentration of authority and decentralization means distribution of authority. See, this is the example. In college, there will be principal, vice principal, HODs and teachers. So this is the example of decentralization. The power is given to each one and everyone has certain authorities. While this is the example of centralization, all will come under the principal. No one will have the powers and authorities. All vice principal, HODs and teachers will be at the same level. So centralization means concentration of authority and power with top level only, while decentralization means evenly distribution of power at every level. There must be combination of both. If you want to distinguish between centralization and decentralization, then it is the concentration of power and it is the distribution of power. Here top management has the major role. Here the authority will be systematically divided at every level. Centralization is suitable for small size of business, while decentralization is suitable for large size of business. Here manager have less freedom of action, while here manager have more freedom and more authority. This is a picture which speaks about the centralization. See, there is no delegation or distribution of decision making, and that's why it delays all the work. The boss is telling all files must be approved by me, and that's why there is lot of work pending and everyone is waiting. If he will give authority to check these files to his subordinate, then of course work will be done on time. The next principle is principle of scalar chain. Scalar chain means line of authority from highest to lowest rank. Everyone in organization must follow the rules of scalar chain. And if there will be any emergency, then we can go for the shortcut which is known as the gangplank. So what is the scalar chain? So scalar chain is nothing but the line of authority or command which is drawn for the purpose of communication, and it flows from top level to the lowest level. You know that in organization we have superior and subordinate, and there will be the formal line of authority from superior to subordinate, and that is called as the scalar chain. So according to Fayol, organization must have the chain of authority and communication which must be running from top to bottom and everyone must follow it. We can say scalar chain is the line of communication. So suppose this worker, he want to communicate with this worker, then how they will communicate? This worker come under the production department while this worker come under the sales department. So this worker will contact to his supervisor, then supervisor will contact to manager production, then manager production will contact general manager production, he will contact managing director will talk to general manager of sales, then manager of sales, he will talk to his supervisor, and this supervisor will talk to worker. This way they will communicate with each other, and whatever arrows we are watching here, that is called as the scalar chain. If there will be some urgency, then this worker can directly contact to this worker, and this line is called as the gangplank. Okay, but it is only allowed during the emergency. On other time they have to follow the scalar chain. See, according to the scalar chain, if E wants to contact to O, then he has to move through D, C, B, A, L, M, N and then O. This is called as the scalar chain. Okay. If he is directly contacting from here, then this line will be called as the gangplank. This blue line is the scalar chain, while this yellow line is the gangplank. Now what is the meaning of gangplank? It is a French word and it is called as the temporary bridge. Whenever there is the aeroplane lands, we use one temporary staircase. Okay, and with the help of that temporary staircase, all the passengers come down. Then we remove that staircase. So that temporary staircase is called as the gangplank. In the port, when the ship come to the port, we use one temporary bridge from which all the passengers come to the port. That temporary bridge we remove afterward. So that temporary bridge is called as the gangplank. So keep in mind, scalar chain is a line of authority. It joins all the members from top to bottom. Every member must know who is his superior. He must also know who is his subordinate. Scalar chain is necessary for good communication and it must not be broken. And whenever there is the quick action is necessary, then this chain can be broken, and that can be done using gangplank or bridge or direct contact. The next principle is principle of order. Order means arrangement. There must be proper and systematic arrangement of things and people. The arrangement of things will be called as material order and the arrangement of people will be called as social order. So according to this principle, there must be everything at its place and everything must be arranged properly, whether it is a material or person. Here is the picture of kitchen. You can see nothing is at place, nothing is kept properly. So principle of order is missing over here. If you need something, you need lot of time to find it. So principle of order is not following here. If you'll see the example of this kitchen, then you can understand principle of order is followed. Everything is kept properly, everything is kept at its place and everything will be proper. Same in organization, every person will have their own place to sit. If you want to find any person, he will be having the fixed place and you will find them over there. Everything will be having their place and everything will be kept systematically and properly. Even the stationery will be kept properly. So we don't have to find for the stationery, we don't have to waste our time. So principle of order means we don't have to search for people and things. Everyone will have their proper place. So lot of time will be saved. There will be no confusion. Work will be completed in time. There will be no missing or misplace of things and it will bring discipline in the organization. So please subscribe my channel, like and share the video. Thank you. Take care.